All right, so we're going to discuss how to pageant your pages to create a saddle stitch booklet where you fold it from the center and staple it. There are different ways of creating booklets, but this way makes it very easy for your end result of a sewing or stitching from the center. So how to do that, you can look at your pages right now. If we printed it, even in spreads, we would still have this first page not as a spread. So we need to use the software to combine the first and the last page together to create a proper pageant of pages. So what we do is we go to File and we go to Print Booklet. So Adobe InDesign has a software component that will change it using the print booklet only. So click on Print Booklet, and in Print Booklet you want to look at Preview. Now when you look at this, unlike mine, you'll probably have some errors and some red marks that says something's not right. That's okay, you should be there. I don't have any warnings or messages because I've already adjusted my document to what I'm going to show you exactly how to do step by step. So setup, we want to make sure that this stuff is filled out, but you won't be able to at this point. At this point, the printer is not set up, and I will show you how to do that. What you can do is you can select the pages to be all. The booklet type, you can select saddle stitch. You can make sure that margins is clicked off and print blank printer spreads is also clicked off. That's all you can do within this panel. And now we're going to have to go to the printer, which at this point you should be connected to the printer. And when you're connected to the printer, you should be able to choose that printer as your printer. So now that it will change on that first page we saw to the correct printer. It's important that you have yourself connected to a printer to establish presets for that. So I'm going to go to Setup, and I'm going to make sure I have the correct defined by the printer, 8.5 by 11. That's our size of the final paper. We're going to make sure the orientation is landscape. Our options are always going to be clicked as width 100, height 100, constraints proportional. We're also very important to make sure that we have paper positioning at centered. So please take the time to check all those little sections and make sure those are correct. After you do that, you're going to go to marks and bleeds, and you're going to make sure all the marks and bleeds are turned off. We are not using marks and bleeds. We're going to page setup now. In page setup, you're going to make sure that you are using a US letter and that you are using landscape and that scaling is at 100%. Hit OK. And last but not least, we're going to set how the paper is going to be printed because it's being printed double-sided. If it's not selected correctly, the double-sided short edge, it will print like it is a calendar printing from the top, your long length, instead of a book on the sides. So make sure you have on short edge or it won't print correctly. Then hit OK and print. Double check that these are correct again. Driver, height, orientation, scale, and centered. Go back to OK. And then this is when you get to check the preview to make sure it looks great. And if it does, and one good test that something's right is you'll see page 1 and page 11 as its own spread. Then hit print. And that should be it for producing your book.